Hi, I'm sure you don't know who I am, but this is a short video about who I am because I am bringing something new to the world that isn't new per se, but it is a different perspective that every single one of you deserves. Healthcare has become a scary world. Every day, people suffer and they have no idea what's happening. Unfortunately, the medical profession only has a certain toolbox to work from. They seem to forget the link of you and I to our health and our body. The world has become full of labeling and judgment without looking at the deep core of any of it. And that is why I've created this system. The system of getting back to yourself. When you are aware of yourself and you're in touch with who you are, and I talk about every level, you will be able to navigate your health no matter what is going on. Our body is a self-healing organism. It is. The medical sciences know that, yet they ignore it. There's so much you and I can do for ourselves, so much that we can do. It's beautiful. And I want everyone to know about it. I want us to be able to be in our power and make our decisions. We deserve to say no to that which insults us and our intelligence and our body's intelligence and our actual truth of who we are. Society has really, truly become so small, but it's not even really our fault, even though it is contributed to us by us. But I can say this: the time for humanity to regain their power and create their life in a more fulfilling, strong, beautiful way is now. You and I are all tired of all that's been going on for humanity. We don't like the wars. We're not happy with all the illness. We're not excited about poisons in our food. We're literally done. We're done feeling powerless. And listen, you guys, we didn't realize that the power of our mind is beyond our comprehension. The power of sound and frequency is the future of healing. All of this is. And what I believe is that no matter how intellectual educated you are, because those educational systems set people up for failure on a lot of levels, none of that matters, guys. You have a wisdom inside of you, period. You are intelligent as a being, and you've been through life enough to experience and to understand a lot. So it's time to actually see a bit of that spark in you again, that power that you do have. Believe it or not, you better start believing it, right? And the more we believe, you guys, in the power within us, the brighter it becomes. And we are not like them. We do not say, I am powerful, and use our power to take control of others or to take things to be selfish or greedy. Our power is, hey, I'm going to make my life this amazing situation and experience. I'm going to keep my body at this high state. I am going to add love and good to the people and my environment around me. That is being in your power. What we have learned as power is truly not. We are now back in ourselves. That is it, the end. Like, we have gotten to this place. We are back. I'm just a reflection of you. I'm a mirror. We are reflecting each other. And instead of reflecting this dissociation and segregation and division and hate, we should be mirroring the power and the love and the good in us and our gifts and our creativity and our beautiful, essential, I don't know, literal powers that we have as human beings. So I believe the sovereignty of humanity is coming back. There's going to be a fight, though, no doubt. But that's why getting into your power now is so essential. So my system, my school, this whole thing that I'm creating is just to bring you into your seat and get yourself at the helm, right? And get your journey going. Enjoy your journey. Be so strong and powerful and proud of yourself. This is about you. When we are in our best state, everything around us is much better. Our relationships with others is more beautiful. But we got to do some work. We got to be real with ourselves. We got to check in. We have a little bit of work to do. But I'll tell you, when you get to know yourself and you start looking at all this and you see the power and you get out of that mindset that everybody else covered you in, which is you're not good enough and everything like that. When you get out of that and you're finally, okay, I'm free, you will see what a freaking amazing being you are. I'm telling you what. That's my point to like anything I say. You are amazing and powerful. And the rest can be up to you. Because I believe in everyone. I believed in all my patients. They didn't believe in themselves. Mostly. Because they were afraid. They didn't understand what was happening to their body and they thought they were powerless to that. Most of them. Some stood up and did something about it, it's true. Some did, but it was very few. Far too few. But the thing is that they did it on their own. No doctor told them to do it. Nobody supported them but themselves, and maybe had a spouse or family or somebody like that. But 98% of the people, no. No doctor told them what to do. No doctor stood up for them. And doctors do care. I get it. They do. They only have a certain couple things. Your boggled mind over something happening in your body, and they're like, well, your injection and vaccine is due. And it's like, hold on here. My body's going through something. Why are you going to put something like that in there? So, I have learned a lot in 30 years. I have looked and seen, you know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you this. When I was in the profession, I study through things. I read between the lines. I got to see what my patients, before they even needed, I saw they needed. Like, it's not an ego thing. I really know, like, I mastered certain energies and exchanges with people. It was beautiful. And I could see the doctors. I could see through them too, man. And there were only a few that really cared. Only a few. Some really cared, but they were like, Jesus, I don't know the answer. I'll give this pill. I don't know. Because they were like, I wish I knew I could help. Because a lot of those doctors go into medical school, a lot of them, because they really want to get somewhere. They think they're going to help people, but what they end up doing is just they're throwing pills at everybody and shots and question marks and no advice. You got diagnosed with the first stage of a cancer thing. They're like, we got to get it now. Instead of, you're at the first stage and guess what you could do? Boom. Send me to the juice clinic and the colonics and the hyperbarics and maybe some IV glutathione and everything like that. Some parasite cleanse, right? Because you'd have a team that works with you. You're not going to do all of it at once, but you're going to get a team who gets you in there, man. You are in next day. You're there that day in hyperbaric. You get diagnosed with that shit, you're in hyperbaric that day. You got a freaking tank to take home. That'd be your medical devices that you get to rent. The concept I have around healthcare is so beautiful. It's beautiful. I love my vision of our future of medicine. And we have to start here because that's not here yet. I do think it's coming, but we got to start with us, guys, because we might be up against some challenges even to come still. And I mean, like, life around us is crazy. Look at what's been happening. Certain people, you just never know if it's going to be you. You got to get right with yourself. You got to be in power. which means anything happens and I got it. Whatever this is, I got it. And we got to get in good health to be able to handle things. And I'm telling you what, your mindset, things about your thinking, frequency, and sound are three, besides diet and everything like that. But if you didn't even have diet and you had your mindset and frequency and sound, you'd still heal. Not eating McDonald's, but even if your diet wasn't perfect, our mind is very powerful. So I believe, even just in this one video, for you to believe and speak it and declare it that you are powerful, that's okay. Give yourself permission that you are powerful. You, whoever's out there, I know I'm powerful and in my own right and my own gifts. I'm not powerful over anyone else. You could ask everyone who knows me. Last thing I'll do is tower anywhere over anyone. I'm always face to face. We are one, guys. Reflections, mirrors, projections, even. We got to get ourselves right. You got to get your head right. You got to get rid of all the BS that's been backed up since you were a kid. We don't realize we're literally living our life based on somebody else's thoughts of us and decisions about who we were. Time to get that right. Set yourself straight. Decide who you are, period. You know what I mean? And I think to myself, like, I'm very judged, right? I've been for a long time because I've been outspoken like this. I've always seen the health stuff since the beginning of nursing, sitting there on night shifts, eating my millet and my quinoa when that wasn't popular. Millet still isn't popular. And the nurses around me who didn't like me anyway talked about me. I've been in this position forever. And I'm not ashamed of who I am at all. I like oracle cards. Ooh, that makes me against religious blah blah blah. I don't give a shit about religious anything. I'm honest. I have a relationship with Jesus and God. Period. No one is to question my beliefs and or relationship with myself. I listen. God speaks to you right there and then. So my spiritual beliefs, God doesn't judge me if I choose a card. Guess what? Freedom. I have the freedom to be myself. And you know what's funny? The only reason nobody is in their own selves and their power is because of others' opinions. We are not free to be ourselves because of what others will think of us. Now, if we're being ourselves in a sick, twisted way, that isn't what I'm talking about. If you have a weird, right, like say somebody's attracted to children, that is sick and twisted. There's some effed up in your background and you are not well. So that isn't what I'm saying. If there's people out there that are like, I'm free to do whatever I want, right? You just said it. No, not like that, bro. It's got to be love for self, love for humanity. And forcing anything upon anyone is never, and that's the other reason why I don't like, another reason why I don't like religion is because it's very forced, like stuff. What did I just do? It's very forced. It's my, that's the belief. And you don't believe it. Well, you're not right in the world. And it's like, you know what, dude, that's your problem. Let's read about the horse, by the way. The horse. Really, let's listen to our ancestors, because guess what? Even just on this land that we stole from the Indians that lived here and conquered them, they had a reverence for the animals. They understood the animal spirit. They understood the significance. They respected the animals, even though they killed some and whatever, sacrifice. I'm not even judging. All I know is they respected the earth. And America came here and decided to disrespect so much. Like the fact that I have to buy a tree, or it's just, you know how it is, guys. Your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you. You have unlimited reserves of stamina and strength, unlimited reserves of it. It's spiritual, by the way, stamina and strength. You follow the winds of change and accomplish your dreams. What do you guys want to do in the world? If you didn't have to just put out of your mind the job you're in, the health you're in, the this, the that, the this, because we got this big pile back here. Everything's so stressful. What do you mean? I'm not going to say, shut it out for just a minute. What is your dream, dude? Like, I'll give you this. I've had this vision. I have a dream, and there's two of them, and I have land, right? So the land, on the land, one is going to be children's center, and that's like a whole thing. And the other one was for veterans because I really, really, my heart really feels things for the veterans, and I've worked with them a lot. And I thought they need a landing pad because the trauma they go through. Then they come right back into life. Hey, you're back at Walmart. Are you kidding me? And then you wonder why they're suicidal. 22 vets a day is probably up. A day. Because they didn't come back and get a proper rehab. Right? And other countries do that. They need 6 months of landing and reacclimating. Like, are you kidding me, guys? So that's my dream. This one of, I mean, I got dance studio, I got all these other things. Like, hello, a hospital, clinic, healthcare center that has everything in it. I literally have that shit written down. What are your dreams? Your heart is pure and free. Why do I like these? You know what? It's funny because I do listen to a certain couple of people that are kind of in a religious standpoint because, man, they bring home some points that I really resonate with, and I like them as people. And they're also talking about like life in general. Okay. Like they're not just Bible everything, because that kind of stuff's like hard for me to only hear. But I can listen to Bible stuff and boom, you know how they have like the powerful thought around that, right? I get it. But they would see this as devil stuff, right? That's what they all get into. I'm not into all that. See, to me, I don't just think the devil is this guy that's going to hook me in and pull me down. I think a lot bigger than that, but we're all allowed to believe what it is that makes sense to us, right? We take in information. Like, even if I'm going to tell you guys a bunch of information as time goes on, you're going to take, and what resonates with you is what it is, right? Because no one diet is everybody's diet. It's like you want to create a different way of life, a way of living, a way of eating. That's what your journey is about. You're upgrading from where you're at to the next level, and you're to have a visual of like what it is you want. What do you want? You have unlimited reserves of stamina and strength, so just kind of imagine yourself that way. Because, you know, guys, here's a cool experiment they did in the military, and I'm sure for a lot of things they've known this, but they had the, you know, all the probes and stuff on these guys to read their neurological, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And the guys thought about the activity, the running, right? Literally, their heart rate responded. Their mind took them to where the science measurement, right, could tell that they were actually running because they were visualizing so powerfully that their body believed they were doing it. That is mind-blowing. If you just think of that, imagine if you visualize things, it's like it starts to happen and be created in your life. And that includes your health being better. Telling you what, you guys, and be the authentic version of yourself. That's what it's about. I still care a little about what people think, right? Like, of course, there's this part of us that's always there. And actually, that was my mother's number one most important value, was what people think of you as the most important thing. I learned that as a value, as to the number one, and I always hated it, man. And I always felt like awkward. I was judged a lot for a lot of reasons, as every kid probably is. However, what a miserable existence. And I did. I got over it. And now, because I don't live around the old school fam and friends, no offense, I love them so much, but I could be free to be me, free to be me. And I don't know. I think it's great, you guys. So anyway, I just wanted to like tell you, and I've been through 30 years of the medical profession. And you know what's so funny? I knew about the nutrition shit like 2001. 2000, the year 2000 and 2001 was when I really chugged that nutrition knowledge. And then I was at the hospital. I'm like, okay, well, I tried to say, hey, can I do a class? You could do this. And they put me on the American Heart Association chair for the hospital. I want to teach a nutrition class, but I got stuck being a rep of the AHA, which was super stupid. And then, every time I tried to implement it, and I'll tell you, I tried many places. Ooh, I did get to do one talk at a hospital. I did. I got to do it. I confused the hell out of those poor people, though, about acid and alkaline. They were like, what are we doing? Because it isn't anything normal to think about. It should be the norm. Like, what is the acid content, alkaline balance, pH level in your body? That should be a definite thing that we all know and consider every day when we're doing stuff. Anyway, what I'm going to say is that 30 years later, they're not getting it. You know why? Because they're not going to get, they don't want to know. Doctors don't learn nutrition. They don't learn herbs. This is the original medicine. I will take this 70 million times over. Unless you got me on a stretcher and I'm about to die. Pump that shit in, man. I'm like, there is a time and a place for pharmaceuticals. All things must pass. When a storm flows into your life, remember that it's just passing by. All will pass. Life is a perpetual movement. There's peace always in your higher mind and spirit. Let there also be peace in your heart. So why wouldn't I love these cards? People are I'm going to make cards, actually. I'm going to make them too, because some health cards you could just like have a little fun with. And actually, there is health cards that Archangel Raphael, if that sounds weird to you. See, it's funny. I'm not religious, but I actually talk to passed away relatives, my angels, Archangel Michael, all the time, Archangel Raphael, Jesus. I don't need to be religious to actually have a relationship with God. I don't have to go to church. I don't have to believe every little thing that a preacher says. I don't agree with half of them, but then I also think some of them have some amazing valid points. But I don't have to follow that person. I'm just props, like, good for you, bro, for coming out with the word. But do I like look at them as somebody more than me? No, that's the problem, you guys. We have come to this God complex part of things where the doctor's the God complex, the president's the God complex, this company manager, all these people act like they're above you. I don't think so. I think that is absolutely not what's true. They're you and me. We're all the same. Sorry. Just because your family bloodline has more money and power doesn't mean we're not the same, bro. I'll take you in the ring. My little Queen's Italian side wants to be like, what's up? Let's stretch not just our bodies, but our perspective and our vision. It's time to stretch your vision and make it something more you. What do you authentically want to do? You know what I actually want? I want to actually sing. I want to like create music. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't have voice training. I do hear myself sometimes. I'm like, yeah, girl, you go. Like I get some beats go. There's some beats in the background. And then all of a sudden I'm like, bah, 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 bah. And it's like so fucking cool. I was like, wow, I must have been like an old jazz singer in the back in the day of my last life or something. See, Archangel Raphael wants you to know he's here. Call upon him. He's the archangel of health and vitality and longevity and healing. So that is me. Like, I want you guys to know I am a nurse for 25 years was how long I actually worked as a nurse. No longer do I identify as a nurse though, and I'm kind of really stoked about that because it's funny. I was a nurse. Do I have all that knowledge? Yeah. But if you're going to ask me about the disease and the meds and all this, like, I can only tell you about the disease and how to break it down. And let's get into that disease. Don't know about the meds, don't care about the meds. I have no idea. I'm not that nurse. I'm not that nurse who's going to know all that shit. I really am not. I'd look up the med to see what it's effing doing to your body. And then I would look at the 30 side effects that go with it. And I would be like, do not use this. It is literally a chemical. Your body is in a weekend, having a hard time, and likely has some invaders. Okay. They don't talk about a lot of the invaders. They have this invisible virus going around the world, but they don't talk about what's going on in your body that you have. They don't get into that. So you're in this vulnerable state. Why would you ever add chemicals to it? You're biological. Now we have chemical composure and structure and constituents and compounds and responses and reactions. Right. I get it. We do. But it's a biochemical, earthen bodily chemistry. Period. It ain't synthetic. I don't know how they came up with that chemical in a lab. I mean, I was always interested in it in chemistry because when we finally did experiments, that was fucking fun. But like they're spending all this time and energy to add more chemicals to your body. What the F you doing? How about this shit, guys? This is like the body can use this. It's gentler. It's like nourishing and nurturing, and it knows how to love the biology and the cells, and they're all working together. And it's food and it's love and it's like special higher vibrational energy and healing herbs. There are powerful herbs as well, like bloodroot, chaparral. Like there's certain ones, or poke root, that you can't just go. I mean, I've got both of them, but three of them. You can't just do that hardcore. You will F yourself up, right? But then if you're going to use them, if the doctor knew about it, he would, he would create your freaking formula, man. So it's a new chapter for you guys. It's a new chapter starting today. It's like create your life like you want to make it. What does this say? Seeds you planted in seasons past are now sprouting. I fucking love that, by the way. Something you have wanted for a long time begins to manifest. Let this be your mantra. I welcome and am grateful for this new chapter of my life. And you know what's really something, guys? When you say affirmation, feel it. Feel so happy about it, right? Feel the love or the joy or that emotion of like, yes. That's what you feel when you're saying any affirmation, please. I thank the universe for the many blessings blossoming for me. I thank God. That's what I'm replacing the universe with. I thank God for the many blessings blossoming for me. And again, I'm not religious. I am not religious. I am a spiritual being in a physical body, and that's something to remember. So I welcome and I'm grateful for this new chapter in my life. So guys, thank you for watching. I know this was like an all over the place video. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and kind of talk about a little of like who I am and where I come from, but it went everywhere, didn't it? So you guys take good care of yourselves. If you guys have any questions, please comment below, or my email is in the description, and like, subscribe, perhaps share if you have friends who are also on this level. Transformation is at its precipice at this moment. Like this is where we're all at. We're at that that point in time, like, so, why not go through it all together and the more you heal, the people around you heal, like through osmosis. So go out there and be great. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.